Well, I've been thinking about this book for a while. I've been a guide, Antietam guide, for the last 3 years. About 10 years ago, I wrote a book. It was the Brigades of Gettysburg. And that was a very popular book. It took me years to accomplish, as you can imagine. There were well over 100 brigades. And when I heard the reaction from people who were reading it, who had read it, how it helped them in terms of understanding the battle, I said to myself, I'm really passionate about Antietam now. It really deserves to have its own Brigades of Antietam. So it was really following on from what I had done at Gettysburg to say, it's time for Antietam. People who are really interested in the battle, it's for them. It's for individuals who have a special need or a special interest in a particular brigade or regiment. We don't find too many people who don't have an interest in Antietam who are going to pick up this book and say, boy, I'm going to read this thing because I'm going to learn all about the battle. You really have to have an understanding of the battle to get most of what you could do out of the book itself. At Gettysburg, I limited how much material I actually used. So it was from the time that they reached the battlefield to the time they left. This book is really exciting because it starts with a history of the unit, whether it's a brigade. It also gets into the corps, it gets into divisions. But you get a better sense of how did it form? How did this brigade form? And then what were its experiences before this campaign? And how did it perform during the campaign? Also, what's good about this book is it's not just about brigades. It's also about the people that made up their brigades and the divisions and the corps. So we learn more about who were the brigade commanders. We get into some of the regimental leaders, etc. There's a lot of quotes. I'm a believer in letting the soldiers tell their own story. And whenever possible, I would tell the authors, I don't want you to tell the story. I want the soldiers to tell the story. The book is organized into the order of battle. So we start off with the First Corps, Union First Corps. And there's a description about the First Corps, Joe Hooker, when it was formed, overview of what the First Corps did during the campaign. And then it gets into the First Division, Abner Doubleday's division. Again, a section on him, not as long as the brigade sections, but to give a background on the totality of that division. And so that approach throughout the book, cavalry, the Confederates, and suddenly we were done. We have a wonderful group of authors. We had 20 individuals who actually contributed. It started off with the guides. Nobody knows Antietam like the battlefield guides. Certainly the Park Service, they know their stuff as well. And we have at least one ranger who contributed. We have a long-term volunteer also contributed. But everyone who contributed has a very, very strong knowledge of the campaign and the unit that they actually wrote about. We had one individual who was a past guide. We had another who was a past ranger. But the vast majority are current guides. And these are individuals, I've been very impressed. I mean, I've only been a guide for 3 years. These are individuals who really have a passion about this campaign. But they live and breathe it. They know what happened. And they're very interested in sharing. That's why they're guides. And this gives them another opportunity to share what they know in a different format. This book will appeal to so many different people, but especially for individuals who have an ancestor who fought in a unit, whether it was the 2nd Massachusetts or the 15th Virginia. And again, it gets to what did this unit do during this Seminole campaign? And it's very readable. In fact, one of the things that I really like about this book is that it doesn't read like a novel, but it reads very, very well. And you can sit down and read 20 pages very easily.